Okay. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. So today we're building this website, at least this landing page. So I'll be building it in WordPress with the Divi theme. So for those who don't know what Divi is, it's a very popular WordPress theme that comes with a visual builder that I personally found super useful and super easy to use. So you can build any kind of websites for different purposes, and it's super simple to use. So the main purpose of this live stream is to teach you how this Divi theme works. So okay, let's go back to the site we're going to build. And the first thing is that I already have my WordPress site installed locally, and I have the Divi theme already active here. As you can see, it's active. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a new page, which is going to be our home page. Click on Use Divi Builder. And now we're going to choose Build from Scratch. Okay, so as you can see, what I like to do, at least this is a personal option, is to make each section. So here we have a section, this is a second one, another one, and the third section, and this will be the footer of the site. So next, what I'm going to do is to find out what's the font that this website is using. So to do that, I have this Chrome extension called What Font. So I click on it and I put the cursor over the font I'm interested in, and if I just click that, it will give me all the information like the family, the style, the size, and everything, as you can see. So this site, it's using two different fonts. I think it's Poppins for the titles and PT Sans for the paragraphs. So I'm going to set that for the whole website. Of course, maybe we will find some text modules that have a different font, but we can customize that later. So I'm going to save this. I can press Command S or Control S to save it, or just click on this button here. And I'm gonna exit the Visual Builder. Let's go to Theme Customizer. And here in General Settings, we will find this menu Typography, where we can set what typography we want for the header, the titles, or the paragraphs. So this was, I think it's Poppins, called Poppins. Here. And the body font for the paragraphs is PT Sans. PT Sans. Okay, so now I'm just going to click on Publish and we are set. So let's go back to the page and let's enable again the Visual Builder. Guys, if you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the chat. And thanks for watching. Okay, so we're going to build this from scratch. And what I like to do is to download the images that we're going to be using. So I have this Chrome extension called Image Downloader, and this will allow me to download. Here we have a background, and then we have this image. As you can see, these are two separated assets. So let's download that image. And next thing I can tell there's a gradient here, so probably the background is made of a gradient, and it has also this image. So I'm going to try to replicate that. So let's go to the section settings, background. I'm going to add a background image, which I just download. So let's upload that. Click on OK, and there it is. And so I want to get the colors that this gradient is made of. So I'm going to the inspector. Let's select this section, and here I can see this the CSS for the gradient. So here I can get the two colors. So if I click there, I have one. So I'm gonna copy it. And here you can add a gradient. So let's choose the first stop for the gradient, which is that one. And let's get the second one. There it is. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is to add a row with two columns. So we can add the left column and the image on this right side. So we have a row with two columns. I'm just going to add the image first, because I already have it here. There it is. It's looking good. I'm going to copy this and paste it in a text module here. So as you can see, because I did a copy and paste, it copied this title and this paragraph. So now I am going to adjust this text. So this is white, and this here, what font, and this, it has an opacity. So this size is 18, and this title is 44. So let's go to design. Let's customize the H1 first. This was black. I think it was 44. Yeah, 44. After that, I'm not sure if this is, I think it's regular. Yeah. And this text, as you can see, you can click here and it will take us to the design text section. And this was 18. So 18, and the line height is set to 32 pixels. Sorry. So this is set to 0.7. Opacity 0.7. What do you think, guys? How this is looking? And after the text model, we have this button. So let's go to add a new module. Just gonna add the button module. Let's go back to the site to get the color. So I use this color picker from this Colorzilla Chrome extension. Place it over the color you want to get, and it will automatically copy the color code. So we are in the button settings. Let's go to design, button, choose custom styles, and I'm gonna set the color, the text color to white. I'm going to create a global color for this. I'm gonna choose that. I think the border is the same color, so I can get it there. It's probably it's a bold font weight. It's PT Sans normal 16. So Sans, maybe something like that. And I think this by default is set to 20. Yes. So we need to set it to 60. Okay, so then we have that this button definitely has border radius, and we need to increase that. So here it is. By default it's set to 3, but this is like 25 or something. Yeah. And here in the original site it looks much bigger, but it's because it has some top, left, right and bottom padding. So let's go to spacing and let's add some padding. Maybe something like that. Yeah, much better. If I go to the inspector, I can select the element and try to find here. So it has 10 pixels and 30 pixels. Same we got here. Right. So I also can tell that this has a very soft box shadow. Not sure if you can tell. So let me try to add that. Let's go back to the button settings, design. And here, box shadow. And it's super soft. I think it's white, but it has a lot of opacity. It's like something like that. Also, something I don't like of this original design is that the buttons don't have an hover color. So I'm going to set that. So if you don't know how to do this, go to the module settings, and this is something that works for many different types of modules. So you need to go to design. In this case, we're going to the custom styles of the button. Then we go to the background, because that's what I want to change in the overstates. And when you're over the element, click this cursor icon, and it will allow you to set the hover state. So we need to select that, and let's choose a color. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, looks fine. So click on OK. So now when I over the button, it gives us a different color. Looks much better than the original, I think. So what's next? So it's looking pretty much the same. I think this original site has a little bit of padding over here. So let me add some top padding. Maybe something like 60. Another thing I just realized is that this title here has a different line height that we currently have. So let's go back to the text module, the H1, and it was 57 pixels. Yeah, so now looks pretty much more similar. So you need to realize that when I change between these two tabs, it looks different because we have this black bar over here because we are editing this site. So next thing I'm going to do is to save this because we don't want to lose what we have done. Okay, so what's next? This section. So for what I can see, this is a row with 3 columns. And to do that, I'm going to create a new section, a regular one with 3 columns. I'm going to use this color picker to get the background color, which probably must be the same as the second color of the gradient we set for this first section. So hopefully this will be the same, or well, we can fix that later if it's not the same. So let me add it. Yeah, it's the same. Looks good. Next, in this case, I think these are 3 different images. You could also add, I don't know, icons, but in this case these are images, so I'm going to use my Chrome extension to download them. Second one, the third one. Okay, and I'm going to get the color of these cards, which probably is the color of the background of the columns. So let me go back to the site we're building. I'm going to set the background color for these columns like that. We don't see it because we don't have anything added to the column. Then what I'm going to do is to copy this text. So this is built by an image that we just download. Let's set it there. It's aligned to the center. See, now we can see the background color for the entire column. Then I'm going to add a text. Just gonna paste it here. So let's go back to the original site. And we have a button with the same color than the icon. So it changes in each of these columns. Okay, 1 second, just gonna get a drink. So remember, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat, in the comment section. And I appreciate you watching, guys. Hope this is helpful for anyone starting with WordPress and Divi. Okay, let me add this button. And now we're going to see the styles for this text and the button later. So this is set to 18 pixels and line height 25. So let's change that. In this case, the text. No, it's 18 and 25 pixels. 25 pixels. Color is white. No, this was 16 and 19. 29. Sorry. 16, 29, and this is set to white with an opacity of 0.7. And the heading, which is, what is it? It's an H1? No. Yeah, it's an H4. As you can see, when I place the cursor over these tabs, it will show me which type of heading this text is. So it's an H1, it's set to white, 18, I think this was 27 pixels, and probably it's bold, and everything is aligned to the center. So let's change this for bold, or maybe semi-bold. Yeah. And let's align everything to the center, which you can do here. Okay, now we need to style this button. In this case, it has an hover background color, as you can see. So let's go back to exit what font. I seriously recommend you to install this Chrome extension. It's super helpful. So this is PT Sans 14, line height 24, and this is the color code. So here we go to the settings of the module. Let's go to button, custom styles. This was 16, I think. Now 14. The color, the text color is this. And it doesn't have, I'm not sure if it doesn't have a border, or maybe the border is the same color as the background. Anyway, I'm just going to remove the border in this case, but you will do it both ways. Oh, and that was the border radius, which I think it has, because I'm not sure. Oh no, I don't think it doesn't have any border radius, so let's set that to 0, and same with the border. Now I'm going to set this to semi-bold. It has this chevron, I think it's called. Yeah. And it's always showing it, so by default it shows it when you're over, but you can change that here, setting this to off to no. Next, I'm going to change the alignment of this button, and now it looks pretty much the same. One thing I need to change is that the text is set to uppercase, and it says read more. So let's change that here in content. Read more. I don't know why it's not in all caps, but well, there we go. So that's good, but definitely doesn't look like this yet. And I think it's because we need to add some padding to each column. So what I'm going to do is go to the row settings, select the first column. Let's go to design and let's add some spacing, which probably is something like 30. Sorry. And 30. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it looks, I think it still has more padding to the left. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, looks good. Maybe the top padding it was too much. So let's reduce that to 20. Well, if I want to get it right, what can I do is go to the inspector. Let's close that. Select this. And let's see if we can get the padding. Oh, it's set to 30. Top, bottom, right, and left. So it's always 30 and 30. So, what do you think? Let's add the other columns to see if we get this right. So next thing I'm going to do, so I don't want to make the whole process to create each column like I did with the first one. So what I'm going to do is to go back to the row settings. I'm going to remove these two columns. I'm going to duplicate this one. Okay, that's pretty good. So now we have our 3 columns, but as you can see in the original site, it has the gutter between each column is not that big, and we can change that going to the row settings, design. Let's go to sizing, I think it is, yes. And here we can set a custom gutter. So let's maybe choose 2. And now looks pretty much the same. So what I need to do now is change these icons. So I think this one is green and the next one is red. Okay, what do you think, guys? How this is looking? So another detail is that the color of the text is the same as the color of the icon. So to do that, I'm going to get that color code and change it here. Let's go to design, button. Let's change this color. And there it is. And let's do the same with the last one. And let's go to the button module, design, button, and let's change it here. Okay, looks good, looks very good. So then we have this section over here, which I think it also has 3 columns. The difference is that this column, it has a margin top, so it looks like it's more at the bottom of this section. So as I did before, the first thing I'm going to do is to download these 3 images, and then we're going to build the section structure. So here we have one, the second one, and the third one. Now I'm going back to my page, I'm going to add another regular section. So yeah, the background color is pretty much the same, just gonna copy it. What I could do is here when I'm in the setting the color of the background, I could add this as a global color, so I can access to it very fastly whenever I want. So that's it, looks perfect. Okay, next thing, let's add these images. So now first we need to add this row with 3 columns. So each column starts with an image, and what I can do here is the same I did with this section, that is to create the first one and then duplicate it, so and then change just the image. Well, something I didn't do is to change the text here, but for the purpose of this tutorial doesn't matter. Well, thanks guys for watching. I hope you find this useful, and again, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat or if you're watching the live stream, or in the comments under the video. And thank you again. Okay, so let's build this first one, this first column. So we have a text module here. Just gonna copy and paste that text. Then we have this other text, which is super similar to this, but no, the titles are bigger. I think it's more similar to this one. Let's see the size of the font. Here is set to 44. No, here I think it's not that big. It's set to 30. But what I could do is go back to this first section. I can copy this module and then I can paste it over here. So if I don't want to creating each module, and I have already made modules that have a similar style. I just can copy them and then make little adjustment. So this has a different title, at least the size is set to 30 and line height is 39, so let's change that. This is an H1, so it's set to 30. And this is set to 39 pixels. And everything is aligned to the center. Yes. We need to adjust this. So it has this color, which I don't remember if I saved that color in the global colors, but let's see. Yeah, it's there. Oh, but that is not set as a paragraph. That's weird. Let's go do that again. So let's go to text. I'm not sure why it's not changing, so what I'm going to do is remove it. I'm going to add again a new text module. I'm going to copy this again. So let's go to design, text, global, and now it's working. Probably when I copy this, it copies some styles. But anyways, so this is definitely a bold weight, and it's set to size 15, line height 24. Sorry, forgot. So 15 and 24 pixels, set to bold or semi-bold. Yeah, semi-bold is, but let's see how it looks. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. And this is aligned to the center as well. Next we have this button, which it has the same style as this one. So I can come here and copy this. Let's go here. You open this with the right click. So paste module, and in this case what I can do is align it to the center. Learn more. So another way to copy this button is to create some presets. You can create a preset for a button, so then you can easily copy the style of the button, applying that preset to a new element or many elements. Okay, so I think we are done. Oh no, we need to change the image, of course. So it's this one. And that looks very good. Yeah. So one thing I noticed is that this row is wider than the default size. So let's go to the row adjustments. Let's go to design, sizing, and let's increase this. We could set this to, I don't know, 90%, for example. And now it looks much similar to the original. Yes. So same way we did before when creating this. What I'm going to do now is to go to the row settings. I'm going to remove these two columns, and I'm just going to duplicate this one. Next, I'm going to change these images. The third one. I'm not going to lose any time by replacing this text. It's just for the purpose of the tutorial. So, and for what I can see, I think this column in the middle, it has a bit of margin in the top. So what we can do is go to the row settings, select the column, and in the spacing, let's add some padding. Yeah, it has some padding. So maybe a 60. I think it looks, yeah, it looks great. So guys, thank you for joining the stream. If you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. So today we are building this landing page with the Divi theme. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, so what's next? Then we have, I think this is the last section of the website. And in this case, we have a gradient going from left to right. This is a 2 columns row with different sizes, I think, and it has this like wave shape, which you can set as a top separator. So I think that's the name, how it's called. So first thing I'm going to do is to get the colors of this gradient. So I can do that with this color picker. Well, I'm going to add a new regular section. Next thing, I'm going to the settings, background. Here in this second tab, you can add a background. And this by default is set like this. So we can move it around. And by default, it comes with these 2 colors, which I'm going to change. So that's the first color. And the second color is this one. If you want to get it absolutely right, you can go to the inspector and get the color codes. So let's set this to 90 degrees, so it goes from left to right. Yes, looks pretty good. Let's add this separator. So in the section settings, let's go to design. Oh, it's not called separator, it's called divider. And here you can choose between a top or a bottom divider. Let's see if we find the one. I think it's something like this. Yes, yeah, I think that is. But if you can tell, it has a black color there, which is not right. So what we need to do is to change that by setting this to this color, which is the same color as the background of this section. And that looks pretty good. You can make different adjustments to the divider, like increase its height or decrease it. Just going to leave it there in the default size, which is 100 pixels. Let's save so we don't lose all our work. And next thing is to add a row with 2 columns. In this case, I think something like this. We have this text here. Let me copy it. Everything is white. This is a title set to 38 pixels. So let's add a text module. Let's copy that. Text is white. Headings, which in this case is an H2, is set to white as well. It's, I think it was 38. Yeah, on 49, 18 and 32. So this was 49 pixels. The size of this paragraph is 15 and the line height is 32. Okay, so I think I got it wrong and it's not this row structure. Maybe it's just two equal columns. Yeah, looks much better. Then we need to add here some padding. So no, the spacing, and I think it has a big padding. Yeah, maybe 100 pixels. You can add pixels, or you could add, I don't know, a percentage as well. So let's say 150 is bigger, maybe 180. Yes, let's keep it there. Then we have these modules which are composed by an icon or a text, and I think these are called blurbs. Yeah, here. So by default, this is the layout of the blurb, but you can change that going to design, image and icon, and here you can change the layout, aligning the image or icon to the left. In this case we are using an icon, so let's go to image and icon, select yes here, and then what you need to do is to, well, let's copy this text, and we need to find that check, something like that. Yeah, so let's set the text. You have the option to use it as a text, as a paragraph in the body, or as a title. I'm going to use it in the title, no, in the body, yes, or maybe the title is fine. Yeah, so this is a white title. Let's see the size of the font, which is 18. 18 seems right. The line height is set to 23 pixels. Okay, much better. Now let's fix that icon. So the color of the icon, I think it's transparent, or maybe it's, yeah, I think it's this color. And it's a rounded icon. And we can make it maybe there to set to 25. And let's add some padding. And I think the icon is definitely smaller. So we need to change that. Can't remember where it's that. Here. Yeah, looks good. So then what we need to do is to copy this. Well, I'm going to remove that because this has way too much margin to the bottom. Now here in spacing, let's set that to 15. And now let's see how this goes. I think this has way too much height. So let's go to sizing. By default, this type of module comes with a set content width, which I like to keep in 100%. And the height, I don't know, I can set it to 50 pixels, for example. And now we can duplicate this. And there we go. Looks pretty much the same to me. Definitely the title is set maybe to light, or I think it's a different font. Let me see. Yeah, it's Open Sans. So I think this is the third font used in the size. So let's change that. I can search here for Open Sans. Yeah. So if I don't want to do that, if I don't want to adjust that for each of these elements, what I can do is go to the one I already made the adjustments and copy the styles here in this alternative copy module styles, and then I can go to each of these and paste the styles, or I can also, if I keep pressed the shift letter in my keyboard, I can select both and paste module styles, and it will apply to all the elements I have selected, which is very helpful. So guys, any questions, any comments? I hope you find this useful, and let me encourage you to try this theme. It's super useful. I have made many websites with this, and it's a paid theme, but it's definitely worth it, and I definitely recommend you to get the lifetime license, which I think it's like $200 or $300, so $250 I think it is, and it's a lifetime subscription. So it's super cheap for what you get, and you can build unlimited sites with this. Okay, so next thing we need to add, this is a column that has text and a form. So, or this is a login, I think, well, because it says create account, but yeah, it's a registration form. So how we can do that is, let's add first the text. So I'm just gonna change this to white. Oh no, it's not white. Okay, but the size is 24 pixels and the line height is 24. So, and this was this color, and then we have this text set to 17 with this color, 17, and a line height of 31 pixels. So okay, so as you can see, we are not able to see this in the right way. Let me center this. So how do we fix that? Is to adding a white background color to the column. So let's go to the row settings. Let's choose the column we want to adjust. And here in the background, let's choose white. This has some border radius here, maybe set to 10 or 15. Yeah, I think 10 is pretty much, it looks pretty much the same. Next thing, we're going to spacing. Let's add some padding here, maybe 30 each side. So it looks good, but I definitely think this column is not that big, it's not that wide. Yeah, that's okay, 30, but we can fix that later. Then we need to create this. So I'm pretty sure here we have this contact form. Or also we have, let me see what type of module this is. I think we have a login as well. Yeah, I think this is. And we can check that going to the inspector. So let's see what type of module this is. It's a contact field or it's a newsletter field. Yeah. Guys, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat. We're trying to build this site. Well, we are pretty much in the end. This is the original site. We're making this with Divi, WordPress theme, it comes with this visual builder, which is super easy to use. So let me know if you have any questions in the chat, and thanks for watching. Of course, appreciate if you like this content, if you subscribe to the channel and like the video. So thank you for watching. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me know where are you from. So thank you. So for what I can see, we have this email opt-in. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so let's go back. So we have these 3 fields: first name, last name, and email, which is the same thing that we have here. So it doesn't have a background color, so let's remove that. Well, maybe this text was added here in the same module. So I'm going to change my mind, and I'm going to undo this column, this entire column, because now I can tell that the text and the white background, it's all applied to this email opt-in module. So let's remove this, and let's remove that column. I'm going to add a new one. And let's add an email opt-in module. So here now we can set this background to white. Let's adjust the borders. Let's set it to 10. Then I'm going to change the title color. Let's go to the global colors we have here. Let's align that to the center. This had a different color. Yeah. So next, let's adjust the text color. Okay, everything's set to the center. So, well, definitely I'm going to change the text. Let's go to content. Let's change now. It's create account. And here we can change the body. So now we need to add a border to the fields, otherwise we can't see them right. So what I'm going to do is open the inspector. I'm going to select this input here, and let's see if we can get the border color. So it's set to that. So here in the design, we can adjust the border color here. See, that was pretty easy, and we got it. Yes, looks pretty much the same. Now we need to adjust this button here. So we set it to use custom styles. It has the background color that we have used before for other buttons. Of course, the text color is white. It has a big border radius, probably is 25. And what else? The font is different. I mean, it's bold, and I think it's smaller. We can check that with exit what font. So it's 16 and line height 27. 16, yeah. But it looks bigger because it has more padding. So let's give it some padding to the bottom. So we can do that here. Let's say maybe 10, maybe 15. Okay, so this still looks way too big. So what we can do to fix that is I'm going to the module settings. Let's go to design and sizing. So we're going to reduce the width of this module to 70. I'm going to leave it in 80%, but next thing I'm going to do is to add more padding. So we have, let me check, yeah, 30, 40, and 30 here. And there, it's maybe small. Yeah, I think it's set to 30. Sounds good. So that's it. What do you think, guys? I think we didn't have this right. This text is set to 17. This is the body text, 17. Yeah, it looks perfect. So what else? Maybe we can add some bottom padding to the section. So let's go to design, spacing, and maybe 100. And let's save. Yeah, so it looks good, looks very good. So what I'm going to do now is exit the visual builder, and this looks pretty much the same to me, like seriously, looks super good. I don't know what happened here, let me check that, because the module we just did disappeared. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it's because we are logged in. Let me check. It should show, but what I can do is to check this in an incognito web page, and I don't see it, which is super weird. So let's see what's going on here. Maybe it's because we don't have this connected to an email service. I'm going to guess it's that. Maybe if we choose a different one. Okay, let me. Fields, you need to have the module connected to an email service, otherwise it doesn't show this module in the right way. So that's the problem. And okay, let me save this. I'm just going to exit the visual builder. Yeah, and there it is. And I think the last thing we need to do is adjust the header and the footer. So to do that, I'm going back to the admin dashboard. You need to go to this Divi menu, and let's go to the theme builder. So the theme builder allows you to create a global header, a global footer, and also you can create different templates for different pages of your site. So let's say you have a page you need to have a different header or a different footer. You can create a template and create custom headers for your site. In this case, what we're going to do is to create a global footer. So the original site doesn't have much of a footer. It only shows you this. So what I'm going to do is to save this. Let's save the changes. Let's open it in a different tab, the site. Okay, I'm going to create a better footer than this shitty footer. So let's do it right. So okay, now we have created our global footer. So I'm going there, and as you can see, this works pretty much the same as the visual builder we were using to create the page. So I'm gonna go to the section settings. I'm gonna set background color. I'm going to use this almost dark color, almost black color. And then I'm going to add a column with an image. And here I'm going to add an image. So let me see. I know I have an image we can use. Here. So before starting this live, I made this logo in Canva for this tutorial. So I'm going to adjust this to a maximum width of 300 pixels. Maybe 200. Yeah, that looks much better. And what I can do is I can add, I don't know, social media. So there's a module for that. I'm going to align this to the center. And I can add different social networks. I don't know if I want to add Instagram. Okay. And let's add LinkedIn. There it is. By default, this all comes in colors, but I think we can change that. Let me see. No, these are follow. So I think it's here. You need to change that in the for each. Yeah, so it has a background color. So let's say we want to do all white and black. So what you can do is to copy these item styles and paste them. See? Paste the item styles, and there you go. So I'm going to save this. Let's save all changes, and let's check how this looks. And there it is. That's the footer of our site. And this footer will be used in every page you have in this website. See? This is the sample page that comes with the WordPress install, and there it is. So for example, if we want a different footer for that specific page, choose the sample page. I'm going to create a template. By default, this gives us the global footer. I'm going to remove that, and let's choose build a custom footer. So now I'm going to just make some adjustments here. This horrible green color, and let's save these changes. So now we should see that horrible green color here and not this footer. And there it is. Okay, so next thing, let's say we want to change the Divi logo that comes installed by default. So we need to go to this menu, theme options, and here we can upload it or choose any image we already upload to the library. So I'm going to choose the same logo I add to the footer, and I'm going to save these changes. And now we have the logo in the header as well. So I think that's it for today. I'm not going to go into other details because the purpose of this tutorial was to show you how easy it is to create or replicate a website with this visual builder. And seriously, it's super easy to use. So appreciate guys you watching. Please, if you like this content, let me know what do you think. And if you have any questions regarding the Divi theme, let me know and I'll be happy to answer them all. So again, thank you guys for watching, and if you like this content, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and again, leave any questions or comments in the comment sections down below the video. I'll be making other tutorials probably next week, and let me know if there's anything you want me to show you about Divi or WordPress or I don't know, anything else. So that's it. Thank you. Thanks for your time.